So one of my favourite collaborations that I've done over the years was a track called Insigma, Open Our Eyes, and this was a collaboration with Andy Perring. So he was also known as Pulsar, and I think one of the first tracks he released was under the name Olmec Heads, Spiritualized. So we were really good friends back in the kind of like 2000s, early 2000s. At the time I was living down in Oxford, working for a computer games company doing soundtracks for PlayStation games, and he was making music as well in Banbury, and we got to know each other, and we'd go to each other's houses and play each other the tracks that we were making, and we decided to make some tracks together. And this was the second one that we made. Andy came up with a melody and the chords for this, so it's mostly to his credit, to be fair to him. But he sent me what he'd started, and I added my little bit of polish to it, and we kind of went backwards and forwards with this track for a while, and then we gave a copy to Paul Oakenfold, and he absolutely loved it. And before we knew it, Tiesto was playing it, and I think Pete Tong had played it, and then I think that it was on an Essential mix, and the track just took off. Everyone calls it Open Your Eyes. It's actually Open Our Eyes. It's one thing that nags me a little bit. Anyway, so that was one of my favourite collaborations that I was involved with. Another collaboration I was part of was Rapid Eye, and that was with my friend Tim Stark, who was also from Oxford at the time. And this track was Circa Forever, and we kind of approached these tracks very differently to my other productions, because all the tracks we made together were made in one day. So as far as I was concerned, they were very rough and ready, and a lot of the time I didn't feel they were good enough to put out, let alone play in my DJ sets. But they did quite well, and this one was a favourite of quite a few people. So I do play it these days, but I didn't back in the day. I just didn't feel it was up to scratch. But anyway, that's one of those little stories around that one. So as the Thrillseekers, once my career kind of got started, I was asked to do quite a lot of remixes, and I did quite a few for Chicane. So I remixed Saltwater, Autumn Tactics, and then this track came along by Reflekt called Need to Feel Loved. So this was by Jules and Seb Fontaine, and they asked me if I'd do a Thrillseekers remix, and I jumped at the chance because I absolutely loved the string arrangement and the vocal. So there have been so many amazing remixes of this track over the years. So and I was like one of the first to get my hands on it. So super lucky and super proud to have been able to do that. The track that started it all was Synesthesia, of course, which came out on Neo Records. The version that most people know is actually the On Motion mix, and again that's another one of my aliases, because I did an original mix and also a remix, which there's so many names going on back then. The way this track came about was after a night at the Gallery at Turnmills in London. I used to go clubbing in the late night. Well, obviously I still go clubbing, but more so from a DJ perspective these days. So we'd been to the Gallery, and we'd all come back to my house in Oxford, and we were just talking about various things, and the word synesthesia came up, and I didn't know what that was. And apparently some people can hear colours, or they can taste a smell, and this whole concept just I thought, this is incredible. I want to try and put this into a piece of music. So when everybody left, I went to the studio, and before I started making dance music, I was in a pop band, and I was with ZTT, and I worked with Trevor Horn, and he always told me to really focus on 3 notes in a track. So when I sat down to write this track, I wanted to make it with just 3 notes, and that's all synesthesia is. It's 3 notes. Da, 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 da. So this was in my head the whole time, and although I wrote the melody in like minutes, I spent about 6 months actually finishing the track, because for the first time ever I felt like I'd made a fairly okay track. And 25 years later, I'm still playing it, so I'm glad I spent the time to finish it to that level. Which brings us back to the reason for this video, is because I'm going to be playing for Trance Sanctuary on New Year's Day. It's back at one of my favourite clubs in the world, Ministry of Sound in London, of course. I'm going to be playing a classic set and also an upfront set, so a whole collection of new and old stuff. So if you can come along, please do. It's going to be it's a daytime event, and the best possible way to start off the new year and to blow away a few cobwebs from the preceding days. So do hope you can join me New Year's Day, Trance Sanctuary at the Ministry of Sound. I'll see you on the trance vlog, guys. Okay, bye for now.